seeking some shade. Details tonight.
Thursdays. Global's got the blues. Hill Street Blues. Thursdays at 10.
Late Night with David Letterman comes to you tonight at 12:30 right here on the Global Television Network.
Compelling drama.
It's the biggest real estate development west of Mississippi.
Come on, Greg. Don't play with me.
Kathy, Gary, and I are to become man and wife.
So close to those babies. Whatever chance we had of finding them is gone, isn't it?
Global's got Knots Landing tonight at 10.
Let's get out there. Let's do it to them before they do it to us.
Hill Street Blues rolls into action. Global's got it Thursdays.
Global's got Saturday Night Satire.
You want it?
I think it's the best show on the air ever that has been.
Stay up and laugh with Saturday Night Live. 11:30 Saturdays. Global's really got it.
I'm Jim Taddy. I've often found that sports fans want to know more than just 2-1. Sure, the scores are important, but there's a lot more to sports than just that. And that's what Sportsline is all about. It's thorough, informative, sometimes controversial. Sportsline, when you want to know more than just the score. Global's got it, weeknights at 11:30.
You're going to get all steamed up about the weather. Tell you about it at 11.
You loved it so much the first time, we're bringing it back. Yes, Soap Form is returning in August, featuring your favorite stars from Days of Our Lives, The Young and the Restless, and Guiding Light. Send us questions you would like to ask the stars, along with your name, address, and phone number. If your letter is chosen, you too could be invited to join our studio audience. Write to Soap Forum, Global Television Network, Box 6666, Don Mills, Ontario. Faye Dance and Greg
52
Barrett.
pounds, is 4 feet tall, has brown hair and brown eyes. She was wearing a light red one-piece bathing suit when she disappeared. Canada's External Affairs Minister warned today that East-West détente is rapidly degenerating into what he calls a dialogue of the deaf. Joe Clark made the comment in Finland at the conference marking the 10th anniversary of the Helsinki Accords. Also at the meeting today, American Secretary of State George Shultz held his first talks with Soviet Foreign Minister Eduard Shevardnadze. Mr. Shultz says the discussions centered around the agenda for this fall's summit meeting. A slow convoy of foreigners continued to leave Uganda this evening, including about 35 Canadians. They were trapped there last weekend during a military coup and had been advised to stay indoors during the unrest and looting which followed. The Canadians were reported to be part of a 40-vehicle convoy heading toward the border with Kenya. Most of the Canadians are of Asian descent who held dual or multiple citizenships. The Canadian military attaché is still inside Uganda and is expected to bring with him the last of the Canadians in the convoy. About 70 Canadians, mostly missionaries, have chosen to stay in Uganda since the coup. Soldiers in San Salvador have killed or captured a number of people believed to be responsible for the slaying of 4 U.S. Marines last month. The Salvadorians were acting on CIA information. The Pentagon refused to divulge any details of any of the operation except to say it took place recently in rebel territory and that no U.S. personnel were involved. Fears of economic sanctions have sent South Africa's currency plummeting on foreign exchange markets. Bankers say this is the fastest the rand has ever fallen in one day. I'll have details at 11.
Power, treachery, romance.
Panache and your charm and you're just about everything.
Dynasty. Global's got it tonight. Global's got it. Knots Landing tonight at 10. Mayo's feathers.
There was no radio or television news in Britain today. Members of the National Union of Journalists went ahead with a 24-hour strike to protest the BBC's ban on a documentary about Northern Ireland. The BBC External Services, which broadcasts to 100 million listeners around the world, was silenced for the first time in its history. At least 13 people are dead and 6 others missing in the wake of a freak summer storm that battered much of Western Europe. In Austria, 10 people were killed by floods when the river Danube burst its banks in several places. Rail lines in the Tyrol tourist center of Innsbruck have been severed by landslides, and many phone and power lines are down across the country. Torrential rains and blizzards also hit the French and Swiss Alps. At least 3 mountain climbers are known dead. Scores of others are stranded. And high winds are fanning forest fires along the French Riviera and on the island of Corsica. 47 American peace activists and journalists are in the hands of anti-Sandinista rebels in Costa Rica tonight. The Americans were ambushed on the San Juan River, which runs along the border with Nicaragua, and forced ashore. No injuries have been reported. It's not yet known if the rebels have made any demands. And doctors in Scarborough say a 6-year-old boy mauled by Arctic wolves at the Metro Toronto Zoo will undergo a second operation on Friday to prepare him for an artificial right arm. Officials say this was the first serious injury resulting from an animal attack in the zoo's 11-year history. They'll now look at ways of making the wolf compound even less accessible. I'll have more news at 11 o'clock.